it up for questions after that.
Well, what a tough environment to play in. Give a lot of credit to Auburn, their fans. They've created an electric environment. And for a lot of our players, I mean, probably over 50%, I would even say more than 50% of the guys that were playing, they've never played in a road environment. In that, you know, two of our DNA traits are composure and toughness. And I thought never has that been more evident than today. Composure and toughness. And the men in that locker room never doubt, never question each other. A really physical game, guys. You know, that was a really physical game. And now we've had two of those really physical games back to back. I told you we were beat up coming into it, and we're probably more beat up coming out of it. But I'm proud of the way the guys competed, man. Golly, just a lot of toughness showed through in that game.
Okay, we'll go to Chip Towers first, followed by Logan Booker.
Coach, you can't talk about this team without realizing that you're doing this without your quote unquote starting quarterback. Can you just talk about the way Stetson continues to come through and just kind of how that plays in the whole mindset that you're talking about, composure and toughness, regardless of who's on the field, whether it's Ladd McConkey or somebody else at wide receiver?
Yeah, it's next man up mentality. That's what we talked about all week. It's going to be next man up, no matter who's in. We got a lot of guys hurt and beat up, including the quarterback. And, you know, we hope he's getting better. We feel like he's getting better. But, you know, Stetson played a hell of a game. Stetson made plays with his feet. You know, you go back to that game and there's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, probably 4 really big plays in the game that he makes with his athleticism. And that's a dynamic that he brings that it forces them to defend us different ways. And, you know, guys, I don't know how you feel. I don't really read what anybody writes, but he played really well too last year. Okay. He did some good things last year. And I don't think people give him enough credit for that, you know, this was his first opportunity to come into this environment and play Georgia brand of football. And he made a lot of plays, man. He hit the guys that were open and helped us in the second half by doing a lot of run checks. And really proud of the way Stetson's led the team and played. And our players, telling you, they believe in whoever's back there.
Coach, are you able to give any updates on Jamari or anybody else? You mentioned you're more banged up than you were coming into the game.
Yeah, I mean, we lost Chris to a shoulder, and I don't know. At times he thought he could come back. He put his pads back on, and he took them off, and he's got a shoulder injury, but we don't know if he'll be back yet or not. Don't know how. I mean, we probably won't know until midweek next week. Jamari thought he could play on it. It was I think it was an ankle, and he thought he could go on it, but we felt like Roderick was playing well. But again, I don't know. I think we'll have to see those guys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to really know. There's no definites. You know, we got a lot of guys out, guys. I mean, just look down the list. You saw the guys today that didn't play.
Let's go to Mark Weiser, followed by Dean Legge.
You're talking about toughness with Stetson. Obviously, he took a shot there on the targeting, and I want to ask you about his play action fakes, how effective they are. Seem to be in the passing game today, especially.
Yeah, the play action shots. I thought Monken did a great job calling the game, tying the run game to the play action. And the play actions only work, you know, if you got guys that can run and you got a run game that's working. So the better the run game is, obviously the play action shots work. And thought there were some very timely calls there to get some explosives, and a lot of young players stepped up. Look, I had no idea if you had told me we were coming into Auburn this year 6 months ago and we would have had Ladd and A.D. Mitchell, you know, playing our X and Z. Who would have thought that?
Kirby, can you talk about or just Stetson's ability to keep the ball and run? How does that change the offense for y'all?
Well, it makes a 11th. They have to defend the 11th guy. We saw it with Bo Nix. You know, there's 3 or 4 third downs that we thought we had him covered great, and he scrambles and makes a play with his legs, and that's what Stetson's able to do. He's not maybe losing his bow, but he's a really good athlete, and he makes plays with his leg. He's able to pull the ball on his own reads. He makes you defend the whole 53 yards. And, you know, we've always felt like Stetson's a really good player. So it wasn't like anybody didn't think he was good. He was playing well last year.
Let's go to Anthony Dasher, followed by Alex Scarborough.
Hey, Coach, I know you talk about, you know, wanting this team to be on a trajectory and that sort of a thing. But I was wondering from an offensive perspective, and when it comes to trajectory, kind of where do you think it is as a whole? And again, like you said, this team is missing a lot of its weapons. And just one quick thing on that about Kenny McIntosh, why he didn't play today.
Yeah, Kenny tried to play. He had a hamstring tight that was bothering him on Thursday, and he warmed up. We thought he was going to be able to go. He wasn't able to go 100%. I think he tried to cover a couple punts. Didn't feel comfortable putting him back there in KOR, and he couldn't go. And another guy down, along with Jermaine Burton. So it's tough. But as far as the trajectory, our offense has been so different every week in terms of who's available, and our offensive staff is using the weapons we have, and thankful that we have enough guys still healthy that we can have a functioning, good, explosive offense. And all you can do is take the guys that are healthy and go play with them, and it's next man up. I thought those guys stepped up today.
Alex, you there? Okay, we'll go to Mike Griffith, followed by Jed May.
Yeah, Kirby, you talked about next man up. I think you said you had an exodus of 8 DBs. Tyke's not back. I guess that's 9. Smith's down 10, and yet the secondary holds strong. Can you just talk about the players back there, and Dan coming in and playing that safety spot when Christopher went out?
Yeah, Tyke is there. Tyke played today. I don't know if you noticed. He got in. He played a kickoff, and he played a few snaps on defense. When Lewis went out, we had to move Rennie to safety and Tyke to star. But Tyke's getting better. Like he's almost there. But he's also he plays the same spot Rennie. He's got to outperform Rennie, and he's got to play there to get into rotation, and that's a good competition. But moving forward, we're probably going to have to get some more reps for those guys at safety and Bullard as well. And good thing is we've been coaching those guys to be position diverse. They can play star and safety. We're hurting at corner too. Nobody's mentioned it, but Amir Speed was injured and not here, and he's a starter on 4 special teams. So between Amir Speed, Jermaine Burton, Jamari Saylor, all those guys, Kenny McIntosh, it's just a long list. And what we're going to do is figure out what our best players can do and let them function and go play best brand of football we can.
Kirby, it seemed like your defense played really well in the red zone today, holding Auburn to field goals, got the stop right before halftime. Just how much do y'all emphasize that in practice? And I guess, in your opinion, is that one of the true signs of a good defense that, they're able to bend but not break, I guess?
Well, first of all, I think Auburn did a tremendous job offensively. They moved the tempo. They were very patient with the run game. They didn't just abort the run game. When you don't get an early lead, it makes a team able to be patient. And they gotten a lot more third and I would say 1 to 5, 1 to 6. And that's harder. Those are harder when you got an athletic quarterback that can take off running. But we did have some stops in the red area that were huge. We emphasize that every week. We brag on our players. We post what they're ranked in the red area. It's a big pride thing for them to be really good in the red area, and that paid off extremely well today. Coach Schumann and Dan do a tremendous job of giving a red area report to our players, and I thought that paid off in this game.
Let's go to Seth Everson, followed by John Zinor.
Kirby, first off, I'm sorry, but if you said it, but what does Burton have? And second, just on the injuries, should people be impressed by what you all have done despite the injuries, or worried about it catching up to you?
Worried about what? I didn't hear the end of that.
Worried about the injuries basically catching up to you if you don't get enough important guys back.
I really don't know what people should be. I know that for me as the coach, I'm not thinking about what everybody thinks about the injuries. I'm thinking about what we can do to get the players we have in the best place to be successful. That's what coaches do, right? They take what they have and what they have healthy and they go. These aren't injuries that are occurring because, we're banging in practice. That's not the case. Some of these are soft tissue injuries. Jermaine's is a growing that affected him. I think started bothering him Tuesday. And hey, it's just a cumulative effect at receiver. We've done less receiver work than ever because we lost 3 receivers in the transfer portal, and it's like we got George down, then we got Dom down. And then what happens is the cumulative effect starts getting the other guys, and we've had to cut back. We track their yardages. We do everything we can to help them. But I'll say this, the ones that are healthy, they work hard, they compete. And I'm proud of the way that that receiver room has responded.
Okay, let's go to Maria Martin, followed by Connor Riley.
Kirby, you mentioned him briefly, but Lad McConkey, he's been able to develop throughout the season and obviously had a really big game today. Could you just elaborate a little bit more of what you saw from Lad and how pleased you are within him in this offense so far?
What I saw from Lad today, or
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, I saw a heart of a warrior. You know, I sat in that young man's home, and you know, he didn't have one Power 5 offer, and he wanted to play big time football, and all he did was make catches, punt return, make plays, and it's not his fault who he goes against. I watched him play basketball one night and said, I want this guy on my team. And his parents were wonderful people and jumped all over the opportunity to come play at Georgia. And I think any player on our team will tell you Lad McConkey outworks every guy out there. And he plays with physical toughness at 184 pounds. And today, you know, he made some plays. He made plays in the vertical passing game, and really proud of him. And he moved positions. He didn't play the slot today. He played Z. And I thought that was a tremendous job by our coaches and by a young man that is everything right about college football. This guy wants to win for Georgia. And the more guys you get like that on your team, Dan Jackson's another one that cares about it. Warren McClendon cares about it. They care about this university, and you see it the way they play.
Hey, Kirby, it may be too soon to determine this, but do you guys think you were elite today?
You know, elite can be a loose term. I thought that we were elite at times. I never used the term that we're elite. We didn't force turnovers enough to be elite. You know what I mean? And I thought offensively I'd have to see the stats, but I thought we made some explosives at the right time. What we were elite toughness, and we were elite composure. You know, Nolan Smith, who's one of our leaders, had a bonehead penalty, and I told him, wipe it up, fold it up, throw it away, let it go. It's over. Go play. And we can't have those on the road. And we'll learn from that. But there's a lot of opportunities our players had to have bad composure or lose energy, and they didn't do that.
Got time for one more question, and we'll go to Palmer Tomes.
Hey, Kirby, you give up 46 yards rushing today, 272 through the air. How much do you think teams are trying to get the ball to the outside rather than try and push it up the middle against your front seven?
Well, that's a little misleading, Palmer. I don't know if you know how they do the stats, but they take out the sacks. So with 4 sacks and Bo Nix going back, they ran the ball better than the numbers indicate. You know, we don't look at numbers on rush with the pass stats in. We look at numbers on the rush with the rush. And I don't know what it'll show, but they ran the ball better than some teams against us. Okay. And that's important to be able to shut that down. And that made the third in shorts and mediums, because I thought Bobo and Will Friend did a good job keeping them out of the third and longs. And that's critical. So teams will take shots on us, obviously, because you got the big guys inside, but they did run the ball a little more efficiently than the numbers indicate.
All right, Coach, thanks.